The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
Not sure what you thought, but I thought it was appropriate when he walked into our meeting with his arm totally encased in ice, because he threw 5 touchdown passes last week and won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award.
Yeah, but reading the paper this morning, and he said, gosh, I actually thought I should have got 6 or 7. But still, it was an amazing performance a week ago.
Boy, I tell you what, if he thought he should have had 6 or 7, that's a guy who's an absolute perfectionist, not just greedy.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Quickly now, a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Wentz going to throw. David Johnson here on the catch. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot. And
now the ball comes loose, and the Falcons grab it, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season... ended today, and it's not going to. We still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. The numbers there in last week's game for Smith. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll toss it to Smith. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off, because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Keep playing.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember
yeah.
what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it.
That's the football, and the Falcons grab it, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Ito Smith heading back out with the rest of his offensive crew. And a week ago, as you get a look at the numbers, well over 100 yards, he was on fire.
He was on fire. Obviously, the offensive line was on fire, all the guys who were trying to assist him. But you know who else was?
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Recon, 152 fighter. Hey, Sam off. Ready?
They'll try and run for it with Smith. They find some open field here. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith. Down of the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the 1st. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having a pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care that it's 3rd and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met an offensive lineman yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. We get a look at what Ertz did receiving-wise last week. 5 catches, 69 yards. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
and I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Let's go, baby.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
17 yards and a first down for Atlanta. Now a play fake here on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
On the ball.
Now it's tossed right to Smith. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Rocket, come on.
On 3rd down, Smith. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
First down,
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
On the set.
50. All day. All day.
Let's go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Avery Williamson there to make the stop. Looking to throw on 2nd down. McLaughlin. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons. Austin Hooper. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons push further out in front.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. That time a 6-play drive. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Fielded at the 33. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. The ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
57's
To throw on 2nd down, McLaughlin. This one caught by Ridley. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 27-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
218, jump. Go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McLaughlin, coverage there by Von Bell.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Start on the ground, it's Ito Smith. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Looking deep for Julio. It's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 46 yards. Back to throw. McLaughlin.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Jordan Leggett, his first touchdown on the year. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. At Pointer, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. In 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
If he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Now the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long time.
And it's a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Wentz now on first down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Falcons grab it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay.
Touchdown, Falcons! Ito Smith with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now Wentz. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Wentz. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Wentz. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's been in a pretty good groove. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really helps your play calling because now you're in a position where you're confident in either one, either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Looking downfield for Jones. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working from the gun, Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. A final shot before half for Wentz. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And this is going to be incomplete. So much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This will be fielded at the 8. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Second half begins with a run by Smith. Von Bell up to make the tackle. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Second and 5. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Throwing on third and long. McLaughlin. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Play action. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Tackle that time by Sidney Jones.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They go back to the ground with Smith. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. They go play action here on first down. Looking end zone for Jones. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Ito Smith. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. To throw on 3rd down. McLaughlin. That's into the hands of the tight end, Leggett. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 21. Looking to throw. McLaughlin. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll be out of bounds. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Julio Jones, the lone receiver left.
Rock it. Get it.
Back to throw. McLaughlin. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Wentz to throw again. He'll find Lindsey here. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
A check of the scoreboard there in the 3rd and Baltimore. And it's a big-time advantage for the Browns. They just scored again, pouring it on. Now it's Smith, able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the right side here with Smith. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Let's go. It's 18 Gator.
57 to Mike. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
They'll run it again with Smith. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 now. Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle 1st down. Wentz now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Wentz now to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. On 3rd down, Smith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Smith. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
First carry for the fullback, Aaron Ripkowski. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Throwing now is Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's second and 7 now from the 28. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. On second and 7, Wentz. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. Wentz going to throw. Ertz has it left side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's second and 8. So second and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To throw is Wentz. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Wentz going to lead his guys up first and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Now Johnson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now on second and 13, Wentz. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw, it's Wentz. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Okay, partner, hyperbole alert, all right? I think that this has got to be the best game I've seen this secondary play this entire season. Doesn't matter whether they've been in man, zone, they've reacted, communicated, and really made plays on the football.
They absolutely have. And the play on that last deep ball, maybe the best example of it, they've been solid all game long. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts.
A seam, and he might go all the way. Past the 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. Possession, exactly what they were looking for.